Hello there, my friends. Have you ever made homemade gravy from scratch? Today I'll walk you through one foolproof method that works whether you're using pan drippings, broth, or even just water. We'll also cover how to make a light gravy or a dark gravy all side by side. No matter what you're starting with, you'll end up with rich, smooth, lump-free gravy in just a few easy steps. Thanks for joining me here on Step by Step Foods. If you enjoy learning simple kitchen techniques that really make your food shine, please like the video, drop a comment, and subscribe. Let's dive in. Gravy can feel intimidating, but once you learn this basic method, you'll be making it from scratch in your sleep. Here's what you need to make gravy: liquid, fat, and flour. That's your base. The liquid can be a broth, a vegetable stock, or just plain hot water. The fat can come from butter, oil, or pan drippings from a roasted meat. For the flour, I just use regular all-purpose flour. You don't need anything fancy. The rules for this don't need to be too strict. Whatever you have on hand should be okay. Using broth or pan drippings just adds built-in flavor, but it's not actually necessary. If you're just using water, you may want to season more generously at the end to get more flavor. If you don't have enough pan drippings, don't worry. Just add in some extra butter or oil if you want to make a larger volume of gravy. As long as you follow the basic steps, gravy doesn't need to be an exact science. Have some fun and play with the flavors. I'm going to make very basic gravies today so that you can learn the fundamentals. Then you can experiment as you become more comfortable with it. Step 1. Prepare your liquids. For the dark gravy method, prepare some broth. The darker the broth, the darker the gravy. I personally like to use Better Than Bouillon roasted beef base. I'm going to use a 1 teaspoon measuring spoon, and it takes 1 teaspoon per cup of broth. I'm using a 2-cup measuring cup, so I'll need 2 teaspoons of broth mix to fill up one of these. It's pretty sticky, as you can see. I know what it looks like, guys. It is what it is. Then add just a bit of water so you can break up the broth mix before adding more water. This just makes it easier to avoid clumps. Then pour it into a pot, and I'm gonna make another 2 cups of broth for a total of 4 cups. Then turn the heat on a bit to keep the broth hot. For the light gravy, I'm going to go with straight hot water so you can see the most basic recipe. These will be our liquids. Step 2. Get your fats. Today I'm going to use 4 tablespoons of butter. Here's the weight so it's clear. That's 55 grams, or about 2 ounces of butter. Set the heat to medium and melt your fat in a pot. If you've just roasted meat, you can use the pan drippings, especially the brown bits stuck to the pan. That's where the flavor lives. Remember, if there's not enough pan drippings, use whatever you can and just add some butter or oil. In this example, I'll stick with just some melted butter to keep it simple. This is our fat. Step 3. We add flour to make the roux. I'm using a ½ tablespoon measuring spoon. I used 4 tablespoons of butter, so I should add 4 tablespoons of flour. So I'll need to add 8 of these. As a general rule of thumb, add in equal parts flour and fat. So if there is 1 tablespoon of fat, then use 1 tablespoon of flour. Here's what that looks like, but I generally add a bit more flour to stretch it out a bit. I'm adding another 1.5 tablespoons, and this is what that looks like. If your roux looks too dry, add some butter or oil. If it's too runny, then add some more flour. For the light gravy, cook the roux for about 1 to 2 minutes until it turns into a golden smooth paste. For the dark gravy, cook the roux for about 5 to 6 minutes until it turns into a darker brown paste. We cook the roux to remove the raw flour taste, and this becomes the base of your gravy. Here's a close-up. For the light gravy, this is the color that you're going for. For the dark gravy, continue cooking for another few minutes. Keep stirring, don't let it burn. Now let it cook until it turns brown. You will also notice a bit of a nutty smell as well. Notice the roux getting darker. For the dark gravy, this is what color you're going for to know that it's ready. These are the gravy bases. Step 4. Now it's time to add your liquid. But here's the secret trick to doing this right to make it lump-free. First, turn your heat down to a low medium. If the pan's too hot, the flour can harden on the bottom and cause lumps. Then, add your broth or water slowly, stirring constantly. Let each splash of liquid fully incorporate before adding more. This is key to smooth, lump-free gravy. This advice also applies to instant gravy powder mixes too. Keep on pouring in a bit of liquid at a time and mixing it thoroughly just like this. Remember to stir often so the gravy doesn't burn to the bottom of the pot. As the gravy gets thinner, then it's okay to add the liquid a bit faster. Keep going until you've reached a consistency like so. And finally, step 5, seasoning to taste. This is when I do a taste test to see what it needs. If you just use plain water for your liquid without any pan drippings with your fats, you won't really taste anything. This is like a blank canvas to flavor however you like. In both gravies, I added rosemary, black pepper, and a garlic seasoning mix. In the light gravy, I added salt, but I didn't add any salt in the dark gravy because the liquid was already using a salty broth. Taste it as you go so that you have a sense of when it's the right flavor for you. Again, whatever you have on hand should be just fine. Too thick? Add a splash more liquid. Too thin? Let it simmer longer or stir in a cornstarch slurry a little bit at a time to thicken. Once you're done seasoning, then you can add more water or broth if you need to. Reduce the heat a bit further. Simmer gently for about 5 to 10 minutes to combine and bring out all of the flavors, stirring occasionally until it thickens to your liking. Now let's go over some pro tips. I've got 3 for you. Number 1, gravy thickens as it cools, so aim for just slightly thinner than perfect while it's on the stove. Number 2, always season at the end, especially when using salty broth or pan drippings, so it doesn't get too salty by accident. And number 3, always taste before adding seasoning. You don't want to overdo it. So this made about 2.5 to 3 cups of gravy. Gravy is best served warm over mashed potatoes, roast meat, stuffing, or even poured over fries. And that's it. Gravy from scratch. No instant gravy powder needed. Which version are you going to try? Drippings, broth, or water? Let me know in the comments. If this helped, give the video a like, share it with your foodie friends, and subscribe to Step by Step Foods for more approachable kitchen how-tos. Thanks for watching and see you next time.